Also right now at 5:30, talking more news headlines as we check in with Dan Haar. Today's topics include trash, the latest from a summit on waste that was actually today.
And we are also talking cannabis and the latest from legislators. Dan Haar, the senior editor and columnist at Hearst Connecticut Media, joining us to break it all down. Dan, as always, good to see you.
Great to be here. I'm at the Capitol, the other end of the Capitol complex from Susan.
All right, very close. Go say hello. Well, let's do some trash talking about the trash. You were calling it a crisis. Why?
Well, we have a shortage of teachers, but we have a way overabundance of trash. Connecticut, in addition to recyclables, produces about 2.2 million tons of trash per year. And about 40% of that, about 860,000 tons, is being shipped to Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and other states at very high expense and at very bad environmental damage. So we've got to figure something out, and that's the crisis, because the trash to energy waste plant in Hartford closed because it was too old and it didn't work anymore in July. That's precipitating a crisis that says, what are we going to do? And today was a big meeting. They talked about recycling. They talked about taking organic waste. We've got capacity for huge food waste to reprocess it. That's not being done. All sorts of ideas like that.
Dan, is that this summit on waste that I mentioned a minute ago? Is that what you were at today? What are they weighing? What are they considering?
Well, right now there is a proposal by the governor's office which is saying let's charge people $5 a ton extra, towns, $5 a ton extra for shipping garbage out of the state. And that'll create money to work on technology for new ideas. That's one thing. Another is let's really beef up the recycling program, which is not doing too well at all. As you know, right now, recycling market has collapsed and people are paying more for their recycling to go away than their trash. Let's fix that somehow. And then the third thing is let's find higher technology ideas like anaerobic digesters and put them to work. Problem is all this stuff costs money and nothing is easier than burying and burning your trash, but it can't go on forever.
All right, let's move to the cannabis question here. You're talking about legislators wanting the state to shut down what's being considered a gray area on hemp products that can be turned into THC. Explain that to us.
That's right. Right now, if you go to these small smoke shops and convenience stores, you can buy CBD products typically sold as Delta 8. That's, as you know, THC has forms. Delta 8 cannabinol it's a product that's made semi-legally. It's taking regular hemp CBD, which does not get you high, and it's putting it through a chemical process which makes it as potent as the marijuana that we buy. And so that's saying, the state is saying, let's get that off the shelves. And the Department of Consumer Protection Commissioner, Michelle Siegel, said, give me money, give me authority, and we'll get it off the shelves. But it's not an easy job. That's just one part of the changes that have to happen in the cannabis laws that are underway.
Well, I think and you know better than us, but it seems that they're evaluating a lot of this right now. Are you sure that's not a fake background behind you there, Dan?
No, this is the state capitol of Connecticut there. That's the actual hall of the House behind me. And in fact, I'm sitting at the table that is normally occupied during a session by one Susan Raff.
All right, always
careful.
The real deal.
We're going to send her your way. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Dan writes about politics for Hearst Connecticut Media, and you can read his columns on ctinsider.com and in the New Haven Register, Connecticut Post, Middletown Press, and the other local Hearst newspapers.